They had a show, they had a structure, they had a schedule, and that is why it worked. This whole idea that you need to forget about how you feel and follow the plans is a complete lie. It's not realistic. It's not sustainable. You're going to burn out. You are not a machine, but you can create content that functions like a machine by being smarter around how you plan it and anchoring your content in a longer format that helps people understand who you are, what you do, and why they should trust you. What's good, go-getters? Welcome back to another episode of the Go-Getter Podcast. I am your host, Erica Smith, and this week we are going to frame how your content is going to function for the entire year of 2026. So if you are new here, make sure that you use the comments as your to-do list because we love accountability over here, and use it as a space where you can jot down everything that you have coming up this week. So content that you need to create, things that you need to do in your business, just things that you need to get done, because inside of the Go-Getter community, that's all we focus on, going and getting it done. That's the focus for 2026. That's the energy, and we're wanting to do it in a way that is clean and simple. Before we get too deep into today's episode, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Go-Getter Society. So I want to invite you to my live workshop that's happening this week. It's called The Power of One. It's where you're going to learn how to create one community, one message, and one funnel for your business. The seats are absolutely free, but I do have limited spots available. It's a Zoom. So again, with the spirit of keeping everything clean and simple, girl, we're just hopping on Zoom. So make sure that you click the link in the description to sign up and register for the workshop. It's going to be so good. I'm going to break all of these sections down. So you're going to do a deeper dive to make sure that you are set up for 2026 for success. Make sure you click the link in the description to get your ticket. So we're going to dive right into today's episodes. Go ahead, drop your to-do list, drop the things that you have coming up in the comments, because you're going to come back to this video at the end of the week to make sure that you got it done, because I'm going to be asking you. I'm going to be asking you in the comments. So let me tell you the most important piece of content you need to commit to in 2026 and beyond. And that is what I call anchor content. So your anchor content is a long form style of content that gives your business gravity. It basically grounds you, and it grounds your community into understanding what it is that you do, what you offer, the problem that you solve. And it does it in a space that holds their attention for a longer period of time. It's a core place where people can sit with your message, they can understand what you stand for, and they can hear from you consistently, because that's the difference between content that's seen and content that builds trust. And we all know we are in a trust gap. We're in a trust recession. We've gone through a lot. So because we're in this trust gap, it is now more important than ever for you to show up and claim your space as the expert that you really are. If you are a coach, that looks like hosting a weekly coaching session around a specific topic. It could be a podcast where you are solving the problem or giving out advice consistently so that that community is being built around that space. If you have a physical product that you're selling, that could be a weekly live where you are showcasing the product. Or even if you have a store, you could be going live inside of your store every single week, showcasing your product, showcasing your services. Either way it goes, if your content doesn't have an anchor, your audience doesn't have a reason to come back. So social media is the entertainment industry now. This is the new entertainment industry, whether you like it or not. Congratulations, you have signed up to be an influencer. We used to have the space where we could treat our social media as a classroom, but now with AI, I can go on AI and I can ask a question and get an answer in 2.5 seconds. So why would I sit and watch your 60-second video? So there's no need for me to necessarily sit and consume your educational content unless it's entertaining me. People show up on social media to be entertained. They show up to be moved. So your message doesn't just need to be helpful. It needs to land with your community. So you're not posting content. You are producing a show. That's the first shift I want you to have. Your anchor content is the show. It is that weekly coaching, that weekly live, that weekly podcast, that weekly vlog. You don't have to call it a show. You don't have to call it a series, but it needs to function as that. When it functions like that, your audience learns who you are, what problem you solve, and most importantly, why they should trust you. And they show up for that trust. They show up for that community because they are lost. They're overwhelmed. It's oversaturated. It's a lot going on out here. So imagine if Will Smith, Quincy Jones, and everybody decided to produce the Fresh Prince in real time. Like they were out there creating the episodes in real time. It wouldn't work. Instead, they had a show, they had a structure, they had a schedule, and that is why it worked. You knew what time Fresh Prince was coming on, you knew what new episode was coming out, and you tuned in and you watched it. And even if you didn't watch it, you went back and you caught the rerun. You want to think about this in layers. So everything else is the supporting cast. So the anchor content itself is the show. Your supplementary content, these are the reels, these are the carousels, the story posts. The supplementary content, this is, the quotes, the behind the scenes, short form breakdowns, but all of that needs to redirect them back to your anchor content because that is where your content has gravity. And the last layer you need is a conversion space. So you're not selling to people on social media. You're not selling to people on the anchor content. You're selling to people in a conversion space. So on a call, once they get into your store, in the DM, not the actual public facing social media, on a workshop, you need to have that conversion space. And that space functions totally different from the way that your content functions. So nothing should exist alone. Every layer is feeding the next layer. And that is what a funnel does. That's how you build your content, to have an actual system, and it functions like a funnel. Here's why you're feeling inconsistent, and it's not your fault. You don't have a consistency problem. You have a systems problem. So because you don't have a system, you're trying to come up with a new idea every day. You're trying to post without having a core message. You're trying to entertain without a container, and then you get burnt out. So you need to have consistency, because that consistency comes from a show, not from your willpower. So you showing up is what's killing your consistency, because some people like to say, forget your feelings. Don't go towards your feelings, go towards the plan, or don't feed into your feelings, feed into the plan. There's some truth to that. The whole don't follow your feelings, follow the plan. There's some truth to that, but that's not true if the plan is for you to post every day. You're going to burn out. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. This whole idea that you need to forget about how you feel and follow the plans is a complete lie. That's not it. You need to create a plan that supports your feelings. You need to create a plan that supports your emotions so that you can have a healthy balance. That doesn't mean, and you know what's crazy? Most of the people who are telling you to forget your feelings and follow the plan, they created that stuff weeks ago. They're not creating that in real time like you. So they're out here encouraging you to show up every day and to do this every day and to post every day and go crazy. You're going to go crazy. That's not realistic. It's not sustainable. You're going to burn out. You are not a machine, but you can create content that functions like a machine by being smarter around how you plan it and anchoring your content in a longer format that helps people understand who you are, what you do, and why they should trust you. So you need to treat your content schedule like a TV schedule. Audiences know when to show up. And the creators or the actors on these shows, they know who they're creating for. You should be able to say, every week, this is what I do. This is where my people gather. This is how community forms. And this is all in the same dwelling space. When I'm telling you to chime in the comments, I'm being for real, because I really am coming throughout the week, checking in with you, seeing how you're doing, because that's what the Go-Getter community is all about. It's about making sure that you take action, that you're implementing the things that you're learning versus watching 52 videos of how to start your content and you never do anything. That's not conducive to your business growing this year. Community is built where people dwell. So when people return to the same content space, when it becomes familiar, this is where your trust starts to compound. This is where your language becomes shared and the culture of your business is formed. And your anchor content is where that message starts to mature. It's where your audience feels seen. It's where your authority becomes natural, because now you're showing up as a human versus a person on a 60-second clip trying to get you to do something. Now, let's talk about batching, because you do need to be batching your supporting content, but not the actual show itself, because the show needs to feel alive and well and in real time. So you don't treat your show or your anchor as something that you knock out and then 6 months you just sit back watching it. No, you need to treat the show as something that's happening in real time. So you can record 1 or 2 episodes ahead of time to get started. After that, you create episodes in rhythm. You have multiple rounds, you have ongoing production happening in the background, and then your show should grow with your audience. And this makes content creation easier because you never have to wonder what it is that you're posting. You're pulling from something, and your ideas are coming from what you said in your anchor content. It's coming from what people responded to. It's coming from the questions that came up. Your system creates the content, not your energy, because your energy is going to fluctuate, and that's what creates inconsistency in your content creation. You have to have a system creating the consistency and not your energy. So I said all of that to say you do not need more content. You need a content ecosystem. One show, one message, one clear problem, and everything else supports that. So stop trying to create content every day and instead create an anchor and a system and let that system do the work for you. If this was helpful, make sure you save this episode, share this episode, subscribe so that you keep getting this content and this accountability every single week. I am so excited about this year, y'all. It's going to be such a great year. I can't wait to see like what all unfolds through everything. Make sure you sign up for my live workshop that's happening this week if you have not grabbed your seat yet. And I will see you all next Monday, holding you all accountable so that you can go out and go get it this week.